Hey everybody, sorry about that. I have to walk around, but I didn't realize this was backwards, so it should have been more like that. But you can't see it. It's actually scheduled for the Homestead Network shows, but y'all couldn't see that. So, good morning. Welcome to Gulf Green Living's first ever aquaponics video. Uh, I wanted to try something different. I wanted to try something where I'm actually doing something because that's, I'm always working, and I wanted to share with y'all so y'all can learn firsthand what I'm doing with aquaponics, how much I love my aquaponics system, how great it is. I hope the volume's a little better today. We tried to adjust it. We had a few complaints. I wanted to address this. I've also been told that I seem nervous, on the camera and everything, and I just seem like I'm real nervous. I'm not. That's just the way I am. I kind of get excited about everything, and you know, it's just who I am. I'm sorry. Now, when I once gave a speech in front at Auburn University, in front of 2,000 students and professors, I was nervous then. I mean, I was not expecting that many people to be there or to be professors there, but I gave it on sustainability and ended up with a standing ovation. So ever since then, I've never been afraid to give a speech in public anymore because I figure, we're just all the same. We're just all trying to learn. Even those professors, they just had no idea my perspective, and that's what they wanted to know was my perspective on things. So I'm going to give you my perspective on aquaponics. That was my point, roundabout way. Uh, but you can see how good mine's doing. It's just really overgrown, and during our series, we're going to take cuttings and we're going to clean out beds and we're going to work with the fish and we're going to, watch plants grow so that, how quickly they grow. Uh, but today I wanted to talk, there's a few, things you have to know about aquaponics. I get asked all the time, and I have no clock and I have no way of checking those comments. So if you have questions, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do right now. Krista's taking care of somebody, and it's what she loves to do, and I support her in that. So, but I won't be able to get any questions. But I'm going to try to break this down. I get a lot of questions about my aquaponics about what if I just take worm casting and make compost tea or rabbit manure compost tea and then run that through the aquaponics, to instead of having fish. I mean that it seems like a good idea, but it's the wrong bacteria that you're after. It'll actually cause the roots of the plants to rot uh, because the compost bacteria is to break down material, and that's what you're doing. You're putting compost on your plants, so you're just putting like a big pile of compost every time you water them with your plants. So, but it wouldn't work in here because what you're after here is the ammonia, the pee, or the fish excrete ammonia from their gills, from breathing, just simple breathing. But you're after that ammonia, and that is a nitrite. And there is a bacteria that lives on the little rocks or the sides of the barrels or whatever your containers. It lives on that side of that, and what it does is eat ammonia. Now, that's a great little bacteria if you ask me, but it eats the ammonia, and then its waste is a nitrate. And guess what loves nitrate? Plants. They thrive on nitrate. It gives oxygen to the roots. I mean, uh, just really all around. It's a self-sustaining system. Uh, you know, People ask me all the time, what do I do if I don't want to have fish? If and this might seem weird, but you actually use urine, you know, or pee, your own pee. You want to get vitamins and minerals, take some vitamin minerals in before the day before, and then use them. But you let it sit for a couple of days, and you can research this. Don't think I'm crazy, but it's called pea aquaponics or pea ponics. You know, that's weird, but I haven't tried it, but I've been meaning to try it because you know, that would be a quick fix to starting a system, is to go ahead and give you the ammonia you need in the system. But you would only use like a teaspoon per gallon. So if you got 100 gallons, you know, you're only going to put like 2 or 3 cups of urine in there to start the bacteria thriving and growing. And believe me, there's no smell, no smell whatsoever. And it will not leach into your plants or anything because they're complex filters. They're made not to do that. All right, so this nitrate that comes off this bacteria feeds your plant. The manure from the fish is actually a waste product. We don't want that. I send it through different filters, through the my water plant filters. I mean, I have duckweed and water lettuce and umbrella grass, and I send it to them and let those water plants eat it, and then they help me stabilize my water. So I'm not always over here with a pH meter because I have abundance of stabilizers. Now this is something that's self-taught and unproven, and I'm the only one that does it. But I've been running this system for 3 years, and I get growth like this, you know, growth like this for cranberries. This is one season cranberries, and they're just overrun. They're everywhere, and I wanted to offer a special deal while I'm thinking about it. If one of our sponsors would like a large cranberry, you know, to grow in there, you want it to be in a boggy area, wet, mushy area. That's what they like the best. But if one of my sponsors, if you paid shipping, which would be about $10, then I would be glad to send you one of these large cranberries. If you're not a sponsor and you would like that, then a donation would be fine. You know, it is, you got to consider my time for the post office, the shipping, and something for the plant. You know, so I'm not going to tell you an amount. So just if you'd like one, just email me. You know, make a donation. We'll be happy. I'd be glad to send it to you. I have about probably 20 of them available. I mean, I'm going to leave one of these beds, all cranberries, but I don't need 100 cranberries, you know, so I'm going to grow them combined in one of these beds. You can see right now that we have got a lot of work to do, and we're going to go through taking cuttings for our sponsors and stuff. Me and Chris have decided we're going to take cuttings off everything and send rooted cuttings that we're going to root on our shows in the aquaponics, and I'm going to show you how quick it does from week to week. And we're going to root them in here, and then I'm going to send them out for our sponsors, you know, so they can have some herbs and different spices and stuff they need for. I mean, we'll root trees and all kinds of stuff in here. So I'm really looking forward to it. I got a slight overflow. Give me 1 second. I gotta. This is the one thing with floating water. Every so often, the floating water catches up with you, and you get an overflow. Like right now, these beds, they're a T-siphon, and I'm not sure I have a T-siphon to show y'all, but I'll go check in just a second. But these T-siphons, they all siphon at the same time, and I only have 2-inch line underneath there, so they'll overflow just a little bit. And That's where I get all these plants that grow under here, and that's how it waters the stinging nettle. And let me show you something that's pretty fascinating. Step right over here to this side. I know this is off camera, but aquaponics grows green beans too. I mean, there's like right over here off camera, there's like one plant and it has like 25 of these on it hanging down. So it's a little yellow because it's ready to dry. I'll go ahead and let these two dry and I'll harvest them for the seeds, because once they start turning yellow, then that's it's good enough. They'll sprout. Put them right on the table. All right, switch sides. So now I'll be showing up on that side. It's weird how it works backwards. All right, but we're going to go through and do maintenance of the plants. You see this basil? Once basil flowers, this is why you always pull the top off. And once it flowers, then the plant will go to seed and die. So you just pull off them flowers, which are that trusty greenhouse nip here. I just go through, top them all at once. This had to be done really quick because I didn't want the basil to be dying. I hope y'all can see that. But I actually dry these out and use them as a seasoning. They still taste just like basil. So nothing goes to waste. Boy, I got that mint stirred up. Wow. Talking about clear your sinuses. And I usually keep these scissors right here, but it's so overgrown. I don't know if y'all can see over here. We got the pineapple. We got a few pineapples in there, some mints, the lemongrass, and all them stevia cuttings that we took on my video, stevia cutting video. They're all sprouted. They're all right here. They're all, you see all them right there? They're all right there. The stevia is just gone crazy. I think no problem I'm going to have the 300 that I'm wanting to have for my experiment. See how much stevia it takes to sweetener. How much sweetener it takes to get through a year. And we drink a gallon of sweet tea every year, you know, I mean every day, you know, because it's hot in the summertime, excuse me, plus a lot of water. But we sweeten it with stevia. And the stevia you buy is processed, and you know they eradicate everything good for you out of it. So we don't buy it that way, so we grow it. And aquaponics, perfect way to grow it. I could mass produce stevia and aquaponics, and you know, but Krista was saying yesterday that she would like to have this whole greenhouse in aquaponics. We wouldn't have anything else. We grow all our big plants in here, you know, our bananas and all that. This only has a roof that's about, I'd say, a good 5 feet above here. This is at the front half of the greenhouse. And actually, that's the ground level, if you can see going across there. So this area will never freeze and overwinter plant here. I mean, it does get cold, but it won't freeze here. Frost won't set on it because of the moving water and being right there at ground level. And if I want to carry over a plant and not worry about heating or anything, like my etos, the African potato, I'll put them under the aquaponic system and just let them grow there for the winter. Strawberries. For stinging nettle is thriving here. And one day we're gonna, in one of our shows, we're gonna harvest some of the stinging nettle and dry it out and send it to our sponsors because we have plenty. It's a good, you can make a tea out of that stinging nettle, and it's good for nitrogen. So if you got yellowing in your plant, these are doing pretty good. The basil's got a little bit of discoloration, but you can see in a little bit of curl. You can see the newer growth leaves, the ones that are after that, there was a slight spike in something, you know, the nitrite. It either got too high or the pH level got too high, and the plants fixed it, you know, in the next set of leaves. So there was a slight problem, and then it fixed itself. So that's for reason I didn't really have to worry, because it just naturally fixed itself. Of course, we got a good system going here. Everybody asks me how you do it, what's your secret, and all that. And my secret is that I don't follow any rules. And Krista's one of the ones that taught me, you know, that rule. Don't follow any rules. Just, you know, try it. If it don't work, I mean, don't believe me about the compost tea. I mean, try it out. If you think it'll work, you might get it to work, and then you might change the world by doing something like that. Somebody was talking about having a system that used a ram pump to pump the water back up, and it was just a natural perpetual motion system. So the water pumped itself just naturally, you know, around with using a ram pump. And I told them, you know, that to try it because they would change the world. I mean, you would not need pumps for aquaponics then without having waste water. My grandfather, I know it's kind of a funny story, but we've kind of put things together when you hear this, but he was an inventor. He invented, perfected, excuse me, dry cell batteries, which dry cell batteries are like your Duracell batteries, that kind of thing. So, but he worked, spent a fortune, most of it anyway, on perpetual motion. You know, a motion that would produce more than it takes to run. And he actually did it, but it was used water. And I only ever seen the plans one time. And I was so young, but I could picture it. It was like this wheel, like a Ferris wheel, with these little cups on it. And it had these gears down there. But they wouldn't give him, you know, credit for being a perpetual motion machine because you had to add water every couple of years to it, you know, because water evaporates. So they said it wasn't a perpetual motion machine because of that. If nowadays, if you had, you know, one of them toilet bowl flush things on it, you know, you could hook up that thing and it would produce more electricity than it took. But I would love to have the plans, but they're long gone. Nobody has any idea where they're at. All the remains of it is one picture in my mind of the system. But oh well. So anyway, see, there's more cranberries sticking out of here. I mean, I just really would like to bless somebody else with some, and you know, but so anyway, today was about the understanding. See, there's water constantly flowing through this system. What'll happen is it fills up these tanks up there, and once they're full, they overflow and they flush like a toilet, and it flushes through that tank, and then that tank spreads out all these pipes that you hear in the background, and they kind of drip the water into the system. And then once they're full, let me show you. Under the gravel, there is, if everybody knows about aquaponics, there's most people use something they call a bell siphon. And I've tried these bell siphons, and they stick out through your gravel, and they get stuck, they'll get clogged and all this kind of stuff, and really quite problem, you know, in my eyes. It was just always constant maintenance. So I had something. It was actually looked like an elbow that I was setting up. I was just trying to fill up the water in there. You know, it's just an accident how I discovered this, but uh, trying to fill up the water in a tank, and I just put an elbow. I mean a 44, 45, 45, 45. And then when I got to the top part above this, I was like, "Where's all the water going?" And it was just shooting out. It had created its own siphon in the top of the 45, and it sucked all the water out from the bottom. So I was like, wow. So I played around with it a little bit, and I came up with this. This is what I call the T-siphon. And I have a video just on this. JT Bear, a good friend of mine up in Canada, he asked me to do a video on it. And what happens is, this is plugged into the side there. Not this one. All right. This one is actually for the Aquaponics, and I mean the Aquaponics on wheels. I'm building a set for a sponsor, and they wanted one, and it's my pleasure to get it for them. So anyway, imagine this goes down and drains out. When the water fills up in these beds right here, by that dripping that y'all see, the water level comes up, and then right there at that point where it's about to go at that threshold, you'll hear it burp. It'll go burp, you know, just like a burp. And then what happens is the water evacuated that air that was up there. So this automatically created a twin siphon that came up, and I've tried this, you know, with bigger, you know, 3/4 inch, and having 3 on it, and they work. It's just, this has to be bigger. It's just going to fill out the same amount. But anyway, it burped. It's harder to get started too, but it burped, and then all of a sudden it siphons all this out, and it comes down through these holes are just to keep the media out. So the media, meaning the rocks, and these come down just helping even more. So they just sit on the bottom of your tank right there, and it's got 2 kind of semi filters, you know, these holes here, and it gives them plenty of room. And then when it fills up and it drains, and it fills up and it drains, and it fills up and it drains. Not that quick. My system, I showed y'all yesterday in a video. I know y'all didn't know what I was doing with the showing you the fish, but I was actually showing you a complete cycle. And the water started filling up, and it filled up, and then it drained down, and then I came on. So with the Aquaponics on wheels, actually this is the front barrel part down here, if you can see that down there, and that just hooks up right there, and then I drain the water right there, so it actually is pulling from the bottom, and I don't have to have a hole straight down. It just pull from the bottom and siphon it right out. It's another thing that I came up with. So these are definite gold when you're working with barrels and aquaponics in these right here, because they screw into these caps. They're threaded right into these caps. So you can put an automatic drain there. When I built this, I didn't know that. The addition that I'm doing, when I do the addition, I'll be changing some of this around so that I hope to double the size of the aquaponics system. You know, the more water, the more fish you can have. The more fish you can have, then the more plants that. Sorry, the wind's blowing a little bit, but I might have to do the show. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but I'm just started glistening. I might have to do the show an hour earlier because it's getting very, very hot in here, and so I'll just be covered in sweat. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but anyway. But I hope you enjoyed this little one-on-one. This is just going to be a 30-minute show, and I have no way of knowing if I've even talked for 30 minutes, but I imagine I'm pretty close or somewhere around that range. But next week, we're going to clean out some of these and take cuttings for our sponsors and just have fun with it. And I'm going to practice some with the settings, you know, where I can set the camera so everybody can get a good view. We'll actually be doing action in these live stream, and so you're not just sitting there listening to me. You can sit there and watch me at the same time, and I thought that would be really cool. But you know, sorry about the morning show. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Uh, I'm gonna leave now. I have to walk into the house and turn off the camera. I have to walk all the way around, so I haven't got that part figured out yet. But thanks to Kitty's Homestead, we have a cord right here that we can reach out there and this can happen. So, all right, guys. See you next week, Wednesday, 9 Eastern Standard Time. So that'd be 8 o'clock Central Time. That's my time. So next week, 9 Eastern Standard Time. Later, guys.